Hey guys, it's Algernon.
And it's me, Winona.
And welcome to our talk show. So today we're going to talk about our thoughts on forgiveness and how it affected us and a little bit of the situations that we have been through. And we're here to inspire people. And I want everybody to understand that if somebody is in your life doing you wrong consistently, they are not meant to be for you. Okay? So forgiveness is very, very huge and also very hard to do. I would say, God always forgives us, and that is very, very great that God always forgives us because nobody's perfect. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So, what I want to talk about when it comes to forgiveness is how it really truly affects us. A lot of times when we say forgive, we always think about the other person, but it's for us to, I should say, let go of what had happened in the situation for ourselves personally. I could say for me, there has been times people have been negative towards me, and I want to understand why. People want to make comments about, the outfits that I buy, shoes I buy, how much I pay for them, being really truly negative, and I don't realize it. And these are people who I thought were my so-called friends at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think we've all experienced that. And was it hurtful? Yes. Was it strange? Yes. Was it very confusing? Absolutely. But I found out that a lot of times when people are showing you their true colors, yes, you can forgive them, but you don't have to be bothered with them at all if you don't want to. So for me, the things that I've learned was when people kept doing me wrong, I'm like, you know what? I don't need them to be in my life anymore because it caused me stress, it caused me anxiety, it messing up a whole entire day, and I got better things to do in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, I could forgive you, but however, when you keep doing me wrong and dirty, please go over there. Please go to the inside. So we are here to inspire people to do better each day, to be better, and also to live your best life. We want everybody in America to just live your life for you. Don't worry about the haters because the haters are always going to come.
Yeah.
But you don't have to let their negativity into your life. For example, you don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to call and talk to them if you don't want to. Choice is yours. It's what you want to do in your life. I just wanted that to be very, very clear.
Yeah.
For everybody. Do what's best for you in your life. We can't tell you what to do, but we want you to be happy and also be in peace. Okay?
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions in regards to this topic that might be pretty helpful for someone out there that, has gone through something similar and wants to know more about forgiveness and what you do to kind of forgive people who have done you wrong and all that stuff. So hopefully that's relatable, but we're going to go ahead and ask you a couple questions. First and foremost, I wanted to ask, what does forgiveness mean to you?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say forgiveness means to me is, to accept what happened, to let go of the situation.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like forgiveness means to me, because I think a lot of times we get caught up in the moment and we don't really know how to let go of it because it's very challenging. It's not easy. It's not easy to forgive somebody that is constantly causing me pain. You know what I'm saying? I could forgive you, for what you have done, but do I trust you?
Yeah, that's a big thing right there, yeah.
Yeah, you start, realizing, okay, I forgive all these people, whatnot, but do I really, truly trust them to be in my life again? Am I afraid to let you be in my life? Because that's what we're all going to be kind of, they feel one time, you said something slick or shady like one time,
doing somebody wrong.
Yes,
yeah,
and just know to be like, well, what's the big deal? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And to me, I'll be nervous because I'm just like, do I really trust you?
Mm-hmm.
No, probably not. Are you meant to be in my life? I don't think so. Do you think you should be in my life? No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to really truly change for you to be in my life.
Yeah.
Me personally. Because if I don't see that change and it's just going to be repetitive, I could do without.
Yeah.
So it starts to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
If it's really truly consistently. But if you're genuinely truly sorry for what you have done,
yeah, I agree.
Then it's like, okay, I could tell that you're truly sorry, and we could work on stuff for it to go back to where it used to be, because it takes time. And you can't do that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can only do that with certain people.
Because here's the thing, it's when it comes down to people who are, doing things wrong, but it's hurting you more and more, it's just not worth it to like constantly be like, oh, it's all good, because then you're hurting yourself even more. So I think in this situation of forgiveness, it's really applicable in those situations in which someone's not constantly causing you pain, like constant, where it's actually hurting you more than just physically. It could just be like emotionally too. And that can take a toll on you. And ultimately, we have to think about our health in a way, in all aspects. And if people are constantly bringing toxicity in your life, that's when you have to kind of draw the line. Because you can forgive, right? You can. But the thing is, if it comes down to like someone just constantly, saying bad things about you, and it's just becoming, a whole cycle, like that's their thing, like that's their type of personality to bring somebody down like that constantly, despite how many times you've forgiven them. That's where it kind of, I think it's a little bit hard to easily forgive somebody. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you start thinking like, where we go from here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, like, what we're starting to realize now is that, okay, everybody has different lifestyles. Everybody got different lifestyles. Everybody got different living situations. I think
circumstances.
That's how I could say it. Yeah, circumstances. Thank you. There you go. Yeah. Circumstances. And I know for me, I try my hardest to understand it, and I'm a very understanding person. However, I'm not going to accept you by you keep coming for me, because I'm not living those circumstances, or like, how can I say it? It's kind of like a whining kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
Like anytime you hang around with a whiner, they always try to hang out with another whiner because they can whine together. I ain't with that. I can't accept all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody who is not a whiner or a complainer, that's going to be causing friction. Because like one whiner can't just whine to this person, because this person who is not a whiner is, oh, well, how come he or she is not whining? Yeah. What's so different about them? And, a lot of times we see this at church. We see this in college. We see this consistently anywhere we go. And you know what? We think, at a certain age, you get old, you grow out of it.
You get more mature.
And a lot of times some of the mature ones beat the high school ones.
I agree with that. It's really odd.
It's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you have to like know how to separate yourself in those kind of situations. You kind of have to. It's almost like you have to shield yourself, because it's like it gets to a point where it's become your distraction in my mission. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it gets to that point. Yeah. So anytime when you see that, it's like, nope, nope, I gotta stay focused, nope, head straight, stay focused, because it leads you to like depression. It leads you to have all this anxiety. and you haven't had all this.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
I think a lot of times we get so caught up on everybody else's stuff, and we forget about ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the thing about us. If you really genuinely care about others besides yourself, you almost forget that you kind of had to like set your limits and like just know like, oh, maybe I shouldn't really be super involved in this. Like give them the space, because then a lot of the times they might need that,
Right.
And then we just have to at least try to focus on ourselves as well. We can still care about people, but of course, like when it comes down to like, what we have to do in our lives, yeah, we still need that focus. And we can motivate people, but if it's ultimately up to them if they're going to go through with it.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, so when it comes to the challenges of forgiving people, how did you get through that?
That's a real hard question.
It really is.
How can I say it?
Wait, do you remember a situation in which you actually had to go through something like that, where it was pretty challenging to
Yeah, I do. I remember a few of them. One in particular, it was just like, I'm trying to say this in the most nicest way possible.
Okay.
I realized in that moment it was just too much whining in that group, and it's so much of this negativity in this situation, because it's like, oh, I don't have this latest thing, I don't have this, I don't have that. Why do you get to be so happy? Why do you get to live your life and I can't? You don't understand what I go through, and you still don't understand. Your situation ain't even that bad of what you're going through. All of this stuff that has happened to me, and it was consistently, or especially when I was growing up, like ever since I was a child all the way up to adulthood, it happened to me so many times to where it's just like, okay, I can't take this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And in that situation, for me to forgive that person, or these people, I should say, I just have to separate myself. Because a lot of times, you forget that you're hurting yourself if you keep allowing these certain people into your lives. Because I got to the point where, like I said before earlier, like everybody got different living circumstances. So I felt bad for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm a good listener, I'm there, I'm a ride or die for you or whatnot.
Yeah, true.
But it got to the point where it became to be jealousy. And when it came to that, it became constant jealousy. It got to the point where we're supposed to be cool and you rolling your eyes at me. And I'm just like, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point where it's like you want to have like cliques, I should say. You want these little cliques, and then you want to tell these half stories, stuff that's not even true. Then it got to the point where it's like, let's just say we want to say about Algernon, and then let's see if he's going to react to it. So it started becoming like that. It's more like this little petty nonsense kind of stuff. So when it came to that, I'm just like, so this is how you actually feel about me? And I got to the point where I said, listen, if you feel some type of way about me because I'm not in that situation or whatever it is that's in your life, why are you talking to me? I think some people realize that you came up to this person to talk to them about your problems. Because I didn't have no problems. I'm chilling. So when it came to that point, mentally, emotionally, I was angry. I was frustrated. I was upset because I thought we were cool. I don't judge people for what they do. I personally don't.
Yeah.
I'm not the judging kind of person, because at the end of the day, you got to answer the guy. You don't answer me. So I think a lot of people forget that. Like when you're having a problem or a situation, if you're coming to somebody and you're talking to them, you have to realize that you reached out to them to talk about the situation on whatever it is personally. It could be the finances, emotionally, relationships, friendships, whatever it is, or just to talk to somebody about their mental state, status, or something. You realize you're the one who called them and reached out to them. A lot of times we don't realize that.
Right.
So in that moment, I was hurt. I felt hurt because we're building a friendship and we're supposed to be cool and I'm supposed to understand.
Like at least understanding on both ends that
Right.
you're in totally different circumstances.
Right.
But at least you can still, respect each other in that sense. Like just because, your circumstance is different from the other, it doesn't give you the right. I don't care what people say, but it doesn't give you the right to just disrespect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it is hard. I get it, to like not forgive the person at the moment or the people at the moment. But then over time, you start like praying for them. Basically, you're like, I just wish that they could, like, I don't know, they could just be more understanding, and I pray the best for them. That's my way of, I'd say, forgiving somebody.
Right.
All you can do is really pray about it. We can't control everything, so that's what I would say.
Yeah, because you have to realize when you're in that state, when you're in that real state of mind, you're trying to fight to get yourself back to where you were. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, emotionally. For example, if somebody is like being so rude and all up in my face, constantly being negative and stuff, I'm fighting to get myself back to where I was. Like I was happy, or I was this, or I was that. I want to go back to my old self. I should say that's it, my old self. I'm fighting emotionally to get my way back to that because it's a job to keep yourself insane and to keep yourself going every single day. It's a job. It's a job to keep yourself motivated to know that it's going to be okay. Like, all of this stuff. Like, dang, I hope this person is okay. I hope my friend is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You start thinking about these people, it's almost like another, basically, 3 jobs. You want to make sure your friend is okay. If they're all right.
Like your circle of people, even if it's family too. Like you're always constantly checking on people because that's like the right thing to do, and you really genuinely care about the person or the people. So naturally, you're going to be kind of involved in it, but of course, there will be a point where you just kind of have like to step back and just realize like all we can really do if they're going through something and they're trying to like cause drama or whatever, all we can really do is just be like, okay, let me just step back and give you space, and like it's better off to not be super involved with that drama anyway. Okay, so the last question I want to point out, because you did kind of dive deep into everything regarding this topic, so what advice can we give for those who are maybe trying to forgive somebody in their life who hasn't really done so yet because they don't know how, or how to bring that up, or how to even forgive that person?
I would say you have to go at your own pace, at your own time, when you want to accept them.
Yeah.
I would say. You can't really rush it, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's going to be different.
Yeah.
I would say do what is best for you. If you feel like these people can change into your life, because I don't know these people. So if you feel like these people could change one day, then if you want to accept them into your life, do so. But take your time, slowly do it. Don't just be like, oh, we're fine. Oh, we're good. Let's go shopping.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go to Starbucks. Let's go to coffee. No. You need to start taking time for yourself. You need to really, truly take time for yourself, which means learn how to be alone.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, a lot of people don't know how to be alone. It's like people nowadays love how to be around people. Me, I love being by myself. So if you feel like you're not ready for that, don't be bothered. Don't be bothered with these people. Because if they are stressing you out emotionally, mentally, physically, causing all these issues in your health, because the health is very, very truly important. You cannot breathe, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have to really truly take your time. And you have to be cautious, really truly cautious who you accept into your life.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
not everybody is meant to be in your life.
Yeah, because here's the thing, like we could try to be people pleasers, but ultimately you have to realize like who is genuine like of a person and they're not just gonna cause any issues.
Exactly.
Because of course we want to be friendly to people. I mean, it's not like
yeah.
we're not looking to fight.
Right.
But of course we have to set our limits, and if it means we have to give somebody space, or if it means maybe we shouldn't be friends or whatever, then that's how it should be, because we have to realize that not everyone is meant to be in your life. Not every single person you meet.
And one more thing, exactly, you're absolutely right. And one more thing, that other person who is doing you wrong has to take accountability for their actions.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? They have to be accountable for what they did to you. Now, it's going to take them a minute for them to realize, you know what, dang, I probably should not have done that to him, or I should have never done that to her. Why did I do that? Why did I act so funny? You need to start taking accountability for your actions.
Yeah.
For things that you did. You can't get down for stuff that you've done to that person. No.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Mm-hmm.
What's that old saying? My way or the highway mentality? No, that don't work. Not for friendships or anything like that, because it's like
it has to be a mutual thing. That means there should be respect in both.
Exactly.
Like it can't just be one-sided. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Boundaries. Gotta watch your boundaries. Have boundaries around yourself. Set boundaries for yourself. Because when people cross those boundaries, be like, hey, I can't do this. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it.
And you have that feeling too when you know you should probably step back or just don't put yourself in that situation.
Yes.
When it feels almost like threatening or it feels toxic, like you know yourself better than anyone. So if something doesn't sit right with you, I think that's a pretty clear sign that maybe that person is just, it's not good.
There you go.
Yeah. And then, yeah, in terms of forgiveness, because this is the whole topic, you need to, yes, take your time, but also like reflect and see, like, are these people really going to accept? I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but I was trying to say, like, do you think those people are going to be those type of people to actually apologize for what they've done? Like, take accountability. That's what you just said. Because if they don't, then maybe it's just not worth having that person in your life, because they're just not being responsible for what they've done.
Right.
Or they don't care, and that's not good.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alrighty, so that's our advice. I mean, mostly Algernon took over for this topic today, but if anyone can relate to this, feel free to comment. Again, like, comment stuff from our content like this. We try to be a little bit more consistent with our posting. It all obviously depends on our schedules combined, but we try to our best to come up with topics, and we even allow people to freely suggest any topics as well. So feel free to DM any of us. I feel like Algernon's pretty good with, communication on his socials, which will be in the description as usual. But anyways, I hope you guys found this video pretty helpful and relatable in any way. And yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Stay blessed, stay positive, and live your life with you.
Absolutely.
Keep going, keep your head strong, and let's go.
Yes. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Feel free to let us know what you guys thought. But otherwise, hope you guys have an amazing day and continue to stay blessed.
Yes, on the Winona and Algernon Talk Show.
Yes, here on YouTube. All right,
Yes.
bye.
Bye, everybody.